Dave, it's time to answer a trivia question about the show. Dave, are you ready for your trivia question?
Oh, yeah, I'm excited for this one. Let's
okay,
do this.
Dave, how long did it take you to send me your bio for the show when I asked you for it when we made the website for the show? How long did it take you to send me your bio?
So the show's we've probably been doing the show for 3 years, so I'm going to say about 2.5 years.
That's incorrect, Dave. The answer is 15 months. It took you 15 months to send me your bio for the website.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
I guess. Go ahead, Eddie.
I just wrote an article that someone is going to give me $75 for, and they asked for my bio, and I said, I waited in my head, and I was like, you know what? Keep the $75. I cannot deal with things like that. So kudos to you, Dave.
Thank you, Eddie.
What you did.
You know what the problem is? It's hard to write about yourself in the third person.
Everybody who's listening out there, as you know, usually the guests don't talk while we're in the show intro. But Eddie Pepitone showed up late, doesn't know what the hell's going on.
And we made an exception.
All right, so, but look us up at unseemlyquestions.com and Six Unseemly on all social media. Let's get the show started.
Six Unseemly Questions!
Welcome to Six Unseemly Questions. I'm your host, Victor Varnado. This is my sidekick, Dave Rosinsky. We've got a great guest on the show today, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Pepitone. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie
Welcome
Pepitone.
to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Hey,
You're
guys.
going to be a wonderful contestant. We also have, in the studio audience, we have John Minus and Rachel Teichman. Thank you both for being here as part of the studio audience.
Welcome back, guys.
Eddie, this is how the show works. I'm going to ask you 6 unseemly questions. At the end of each question, I will ring a bell if I like your answer like this. However, if I do not like your answer, I will not ring a bell, and I'll tell you why. Regardless of how many bells you get at the end of the show, I will decide whether or not your appearance on the show is worth giving you $5. All right. It is.
God. Go ahead.
It is time for.
And that's $5 American, by the way. That's not Canadian money.
Yeah, it is. It is American money. I don't know why he had to make that distinction, but
it's better.
Where's Steve?
It is time for question number 1, Eddie. Question number 1: do you believe in magic?
I'll tell you, I live in Los Angeles, and I did believe in magic until I went to the Magic Castle, and I saw magicians up close, and they're scumbags. No, they're just scumbags. It's like there's no illusion to them. A lot of them are alcoholics. They're very sleazy people.
Wow.
I mean, really, when you look at them up close, you're like, oh, magic is a way for them to make money.
I feel like you have a lot of hostility toward magicians. Aren't you afraid that they might put a curse on you?
No, I'm not. Because they're charlatans. Okay? They're charlatans.
They sound worse than clowns.
Well, that's a very, very neck and neck thing, what you just described there. I think clowns do have some redeeming qualities, which is, if you're a great clown, you can actually kind of put a mirror up to people's behavior. But magicians are like, look, I took a needle out of my mouth. You magician. You. First of all, yeah, I mean, needles out of your mouth. I mean, I see that every day here in all the homeless encampments.
All right, so I'm going to give you a bell on that question because who can deny that those are your true feelings?
Yeah, and who wants to see a pop-up magic show anyway? Nobody want to see that.
Pop magic show, yeah. I remember I was doing my laundry one day, and all of a sudden it's like, "Welcome to magic." I was like, "Get the."
So it is time for question number 2. But before we get to question number 2, can you tell people out there what you do?
Oh, I am a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
I am an actor.
Oh yeah.
And a writer. I would give myself writing now because since the pandemic, I have really got into writing every day, so I don't off myself. Hi, kids.
That's great. You're actually in a lot of my favorite shows. You're in a lot of my. You've been there in some of my favorite shows, including Community. When you popped up in Community, I was so happy.
Right. Yeah, that was cool. One thing about those shows, they never have me on too much. I'll tell you that.
Why do you think that is?
You tell me. I don't know. I do not know. But whatever, I'm still out here, which is amazing. Victor, you were out here for a while, were you not?
Yes, I was. I was out in LA for a while I was working out there. And then when I decided I really wanted to kind of like switch gears and do a lot more producing and stuff, I came back to New York, and that's when I started like producing and directing a bunch of stuff.
Okay. I just wondered why you left.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. The reason I came back was for a job. Like I came to LA for a job, and then I came back to New York for a job. I think
you got that time.
The job at the time, I was like the head writer on some sort of like comedy video game or something like that.
Right.
All of the weird jobs that everybody does is one of those.
Yeah.
All right. So it is time for a question number 2 on our show that is not for kids. It's question number 2. What pitch are your farts?
Oh, let's see. They're low.
Really?
Low. They're baritone.
So like an F minor?
Never high.
Is it something that you grew into, or
I don't know music.
Right.
But they are very kind of like if they could talk, it would be like, please help us. We need to get out of this piece of shit's body.
Would you say that baritone farts are something that you grew into, or is it something that you like was something from your youth?
Is it an acquired taste? Is what he's asking.
I have nothing to do with it. I mean, I think we all know that they just happen. And I think it's as I got heavier, they became more baritone.
Oh, okay. Well, now you've
kids. Hey kids.
Now you've achieved the next final law. You know what? I'm going to say no bell on that question.
Oh.
Because I would have guessed the opposite. I would have guessed high pitched.
This doesn't jeopardize the $5.
Wow, that seems like you have an attitude about it. But
it's nice to see that you care, Eddie. It's nice to see you're into it.
I would say that yes, indeed, your attitude is jeopardizing your $5 as we speak.
This is going to be a close one. I'm at the edge of my seat right now.
All right, so it is time for question number 3. Question number 3. When was the last time you scared someone by accident?
Ooh, by accident?
I'll tell you what this is based on. You and I have suffered from this too. I have kind of like an extreme personality and a very weird sense of humor. And then some people who aren't ready for certain things, sometimes you kind of scare them with things you say or do. So I'm asking, when's the last time you scared someone by accident?
Ooh, now that's a difficult question.
Is that your penis barking?
Yes, it is. The pandemic has made it very upset. No, let's see. I'm trying to think when's the last time I scared someone accidentally. I think it was, oh God. Can we come back to I really don't remember when that would be. I don't remember when that
was. It like walking or like opening a door and someone wasn't expecting it, or they were startled, something like that?
Right. I think, I think it was what I actually have done. I've actually started doing this thing now where I do 2-mile walks in this park that I'm in now. I don't know if you can see it, but it's this long park. So I just go back and forth, try to stay away from people, because of the mask bullshit. and this woman cut in front of me, and I my irascible nature, I just went like this. I went like this. Come on, move. Like I went like that. And
started waving your arm back and forth at her?
Yes, I went like, come on. Like
That'll do it.
My gesture was, get the out of my way. And she like jumped, because she expected me to just be like, oh, madame, please. Even though you have, I don't know why you were right next to me during a pandemic, but please, by all means, and then she took out her phone and started filming me.
Oh, no.
Wow.
And I yelled at her and I said, okay, put it on Nextdoor, put it on the Nextdoor app, because there's this app. I don't know if in New York, I don't think you need this shit, but out here it's like very suburban, so they have this app called Nextdoor, and I'm yelling at her, put it on a Nextdoor app, and she's going to me, you're really classy, and then I walked away, and I was like, oh God, why do I engage? Why am I so angry? Like I then blame myself, like, why am I such an angry person?
Well, good luck with that video. I hope it goes viral for you.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that one.
Yeah, I know. I never saw it, so I guess she didn't post it.
So I'm gonna say no bell on that question, and I'll tell you why. It's because sounds like you scared that woman, but it wasn't on accident. It was like a purposeful scare.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh shit! I forgot that part of the question, and I really hope this doesn't jeopardize the $5.
Yeah. What are you gonna do without that $5?
What does $5 mean to you?
Nothing.
Hold on, just 1 second, Rachel. What are you doing? You're a studio audience. You're not a questioner. You're part of the studio audience.
I
Okay, Rachel.
No, it's not okay.
It's fine. Rachel does what she wants. All right, it is time for question number 4. Question number 4. Does it offend you that I refer to you as a successful underground comic?
Yes. Absolutely. Because I feel like that was true for a long part of my career, but I feel like, I have now gotten past just being underground. That's
okay.
what I would say. That is really the honest answer. I mean, I could have made a oh, no. And I mean, I like being an underground comic for sure, because I think the above ground comics are horrible. But most of them, 95% of mainstream comedians are really not very funny.
95, that's pretty high.
Yeah, well, that's my opinion. But this is from someone who's a big, successful underground guy.
Yeah.
No, I feel like, yeah, go ahead.
I think that's just how I think of you, because it's just how, like, when I knew you and where we came up, that's just how I associate with you, being like underground, and then just like people, blowing up and people really getting to know what you do. Yeah. But
I do get a little offended by it now. But then again, not really. I've really got a thick skin now as far as that kind of stuff.
I feel like as a comedian, like, you can't really get past, like, the really thin skinned comedians surprise me. Like when people are super thin skinned about things.
I know, and they're out there.
Me. Yeah, they definitely are.
This is not the profession for that.
Right.
That's right, Dave. Right. It isn't. All right, I'm gonna say there's bell on that question. I'll tell you why. It's because we both look down on thin-skinned comedians. All right, so we bonded that way. It is time for question number 5. Question number 5. Why did you leave the secret list?
That, Does anybody know what you're talking about?
I have
Not a
no
lot of
idea
people
what he's
know what
talking
I'm
about.
talking about.
This
Nobody
is
knows.
definitely an inside joke, and you guys should tell us what you're talking about.
Eddie and
so
I,
we all
Eddie and
understand.
I used to be on an email list together of comedians.
And it was,
And then-
and the subject was
and
a
then
secret list.
One day,
That's what it
Eddie
was
left.
called?
Eddie left. I don't remember why. Do you know why? You don't have to name names or anything.
I just felt like I had read enough of what people thought about things.
Uh-huh.
You know, I really did. Like, I loved those people on the list, but I really wasn't interested in their lives anymore. You know, like just the day after day after day comments, and it was like, okay. And I think maybe even a bigger reason was I would open my inbox and have 50 emails, and I am the type of person who just will not like trash. I have to read them. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
okay, well, what did Dan Cronin say about what he thinks about, you know, last night's sketch on Colbert or whatever it was, you know? So I think that was a reason too, that I just decided, you know what, I really don't have time
Mhm.
for this, you know? Yeah. So
Just
that's the
overall
answer.
too much reading.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna give you a bell on that because you've satisfied my curiosity. It is time for question number 6. This is your last question of the show. Question number 6. When will you feel like you've made it?
Oh my God. I feel like I'm in therapy now. Yeah. When will I feel like I made it? You know, I really feel like that, and this is going to sound kind of terrible, I think, but like when it's a big material thing, like when I have, you know, a big house, you know, with a Hollywood Olympic size swimming pool, you know, which I don't have. I'm in a 2-bedroom apartment in like Studio City, and I'm ready to kill myself. And
Mhm.
it is though what makes me funny, the fact that my life is just an incredible struggle.
Do you feel that if
And-
you do you feel like
Yeah.
if you were like wealthy, like just very
Yeah.
wealthy, you would be a good wealthy person? Like you would be like a nice to people wealthy person, or do you think it'll go to your head?
Oh no, I don't think it. Well, maybe a little bit, but I would be a really nice, wealthy person because I've been really poor my whole life. You know.
Uh huh.
Yeah. So I think those are the people who are. I think those are the people who are nice, wealthy people. You know, when they come from being poor, I think.
Okay, so I'm going to say no bell on that question, and I'll tell you why. It is because
You, man.
we all
You.
know that coveting material possessions is the way to hell. That's just the way it is. You have answered all 6 questions. That was great, and now it's time to decide whether or not you get $5 whole for being on the show. But before we do that, will you tell people out there where they can find you?
You can just go, the mothership of where you can find me is eddiepepitone.com, and you know, that'll lead you to Twitter, Instagram, and all the social media stuff. You know, and my tour dates, which are basically just hospitals. I'm doing COVID clowning, they call it, when people are in their last stages of COVID. I'm in the room and I'm just, you know, going, hey, is it me or is dating nuts? Things like that.
Oh, so you're kind of like the harbinger of death?
Yes, exactly.
How did you get that one?
Jeff Singer.
Are you
Jeff
asking
Singer.
who books that? Are you seriously?
That's exactly what I was
asking
asking.
who books
Who
that?
books that one?
Wow. Amazing.
Thank you
Amazing.
for
Dave.
clarifying my thoughts.
I got it through Jeff Singer.
Oh wow, cool.
All right, so it is time to decide whether you get $5, but first we have to canvass the room. What do you think, Dave? Should Eddie get $5?
I know Eddie doesn't want $5, and he no longer values $5 as a currency that's legitimate. But he's
So you're saying you believe him?
I believe him. I know he's in a 2-bedroom. He just told us about that. He's got a roommate. Give the guy $5. He's in a 2-bedroom in Studio City.
Okay. All right. Okay. So Dave, come down on that side. John, what do you think? Should Eddie get $5?
I think so, because just because he clearly looks down on that amount of money, he still deserves to be rewarded for his wit and humor. So.
Wow, it seems like both of you are responding a lot to his
very
reverse
nice
psychology. His reverse psychology is working the wonders on both of you so far. Rachel, what do you think? Should Eddie get $5?
You know what? He made me laugh a lot, and I think that's worth $5. However, at the top of the show, he said $5 has no meaning to him, and therefore he does not deserve it. So no.
Oh,
all right. Okay.
Wow.
That was quite a journey we went on. Now, Eddie, what do you think? Should you get $5 for your appearance on the show?
I don't care.
All right.
I mean, I really couldn't care.
Okay. Well, it seems like Eddie doesn't care. So I agree with him. No $5 for Eddie. But thank you so much for being
having me.
great. You're a wonderful guest on the show and hilarious. We're just going to wrap it up here. Dave, what did you learn from this week's show?
I mean, I learned that the value of currency has steeply declined since the beginning of this pandemic, and we're going to have to find another resource to, get our guests to actually appreciate the show.
Great bit, Dave. Great. All right. So you can see us at unseemlyquestions.com and Six Unseemly on all social media.
Starbane's Audio, a podcast network.